Welcome to a new video and also a new stock, because I'm going to start a position in Baidu. And if you are one of our Patreon supporters, first of all, thank you very much. Then you got a new post in your inbox about that I started a long position in Baidu. So Patreon supporters get this news a little bit earlier than I am able to post such kind of a video on our YouTube channel. Anyways, in this video we are going to dive into what is Baidu's business model, what are they doing, why has the stock been beaten down in the past. I'm going to talk about the potential of Baidu and what excites me, and also stick around till the very end if you want to know more about how I'm investing and what is my long-term goal. And then always please smash the like button, support us on Patreon, and follow us and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. That really helps us to grow this small channel. So who is Baidu and what are they doing? So first of all, Baidu is one of the main Chinese internet tech giants besides of Alibaba and Tencent. And Baidu is the so-called Google of China because they have a similar offerings. They're offering a suite of apps, for instance, for internet search like Baidu app and Baidu search, and also related to short videos, which is the app Haokan. And then they also have some offerings in the area of mapping. So for instance, Baidu Maps can be used to navigate in China. Besides that, they're also offering a couple of knowledge bases, for instance, Baidu Postbar and similar stuff like Wikipedia's online. And then we've got even more interesting services, for instance, DuerOS, which is a smart speaker and a backend system for it, as well as the Apollo platform, which should be the backend for autonomous driving in China. And then all connected to Baidu Cloud, so cloud service offerings, and as well iQIYI, which is kind of the Chinese Netflix and is actually listed separately as well. Why has Baidu stock crashed in the past? So as you can see here, Baidu lost around half of its market cap during the last 2 years, first trading around $217 a share, coming down, now trading around $120. Why is that so? First of all, the search market in China has gotten more and more difficult and competitive, so they're losing market share, as well as that search works quite differently in China. So people use, for instance, the Taobao app or WeChat app in order to search for stuff. In addition to that, one of the big businesses of Baidu is iQIYI, the Netflix, the streaming service, and that's quite losing a lot of money recently, so that's also dragging on the stock. And as a result, overall revenues has been going down, margins have been down, and profits have been down, so nobody at Wall Street liked that. Now, what is the potential of Baidu stock? Well, I'm getting interested and investing in Baidu stock because of 4 main reasons. The first one is regarding advertisement, which is currently Baidu's main business, but in the future with iQIYI and the streaming, I think there's a large potential in the so-called ad-supported over-the-top advertisement, and I think that is going to be the future. Second of all, I think the autonomous driving business is quite interesting, and I'm not the biggest fan of the Apollo platform per se, because I'm actually invested in Tesla and I like their autonomous approach the most. However, it's a great hedge because most of the other OEMs are actually working on Baidu with autonomous driving. So I think we should expect some results on this side as well. Number 3 is smart hardware and the backend for it. So the DuerOS system is actually now enabling more smart speakers than ever before, voice becoming a way of navigating and finding information and accessing tools. So I think now with the Corona impact, Baidu is one of the leading solution providers in this area, and that will be very interesting. And last but not least, and this is the biggest reason for me, I think with the COVID-19 experience, Baidu is getting back into e-health, and I see large potential of the application of their artificial intelligence services in general. Could Baidu become a healthcare platform? So in the past, Baidu was actually already active in the healthcare segment, but then they closed a unit down which was working on healthcare solutions. But now with the latest earning calls, we heard some cool turnarounds here happening. So for one, Baidu donated 20,000 Xiaodu smart speakers to doctors, enabling them to work remote and to help patients remotely using smart displays and also smart speakers. Baidu mentioned that they got more and more inquiries through their search platforms for connecting doctors to patients, and that's something that Baidu has been working on in the past already. And Baidu also mentioned linear fold, which is an algorithm that helps researchers around the world to research COVID-19 in a much more accelerated way. So the prediction time for a virus RNA structure has been reduced significantly, and it's cool to see Baidu being active in such kind of areas here. So all in all, I think we're seeing Baidu coming back into healthcare, and these are now the first steps of offering new services in the healthcare segment, which I think is a largely booming market in the last years and has been boosted by COVID-19. I think Baidu is a great investment opportunity with a possible increase of 5 times in the share price. My price target for 2024 is around $700 per share, because I do think that we're witnessing Baidu to become less of a search provider, but getting more into other services and scaling those kind of services, for instance in healthcare, but also the other services that I have been outlining. So I expect that revenues in the future come from those other services and are overtaking the revenues from search and advertisement, making Baidu a business worth more than 200 billion in the future. Who are the competitors of Baidu in the field of healthcare? Well, of course, Alibaba and Tencent are both active in the areas. For instance, Alibaba has offered Ali Health, which is actually now a publicly traded company as well, already worth $30 billion, so trading at around same market cap than Baidu in total. That's interesting to see. Even though they are mostly in the e-commerce area, so I don't think really that they're on a technological level that can compare with Baidu. On the other hand, we have Tencent, for instance, with services like WeDoctor, and of course Tencent is also strong on the technology side, but we just saw that Tencent is also interested in taking a share in iQIYI, which is one of Baidu's video streaming platforms. So possibly we see a larger cooperation between Tencent and Baidu here as well, which is interesting. How am I going to invest in Baidu? Well, as outlined, I already took a position, and as always, I'm first starting with a small position, so I bought a couple of shares already around $110 a share, so it's already up quite significantly with the latest spike in the share price yesterday. And also I bought some calls for the future. So I bought some cheap calls for Baidu expiring by December 21 and with a strike of $150 a share, which I think is achievable if Baidu moves further in this direction. So now with this smaller position, I first want to see if Baidu is really executing in the field of healthcare. If so, I will accumulate more shares, possibly also raising my average cost with that. However, as I mentioned, I'm looking at a 5-fold increase within the next couple of years. So I think now it's still early to invest in it. So yeah, this has been a brief first video on Baidu. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, I'm interested to learn if you also see a similar potential or if you are already invested in Baidu stock. As always, you need to do your own due diligence. This is not investment advice. However, I'm also sharing my trades that I'm doing, and I find this growth potential in Baidu quite significant, and I do think it's currently undervalued. So expect more coverage, more videos on Baidu in the future with a particular focus on the healthcare solutions that they are developing. I'm quite excited about it, and I hope you are too. Please smash the like buttons and see you next time with a new video.